In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bom dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you this morning? Now, very, very interesting comments coming in already this morning. It's Feelgood Friday, everybody. Jenny will be with me at 9 this morning for some fun. The healing power of fun and laughter we will be looking at. Did you know there is that idea, isn't there, that children laugh 300 to 400 times a day and adults, guess what? Only 17 and a half times. What is a half laugh? What is that? What does a half laugh sound like? It's like a, oh, no, I can't laugh. I'm sorry, I'm an adult. So we'll see what we can do about that this morning. Hopefully we will be able to use this morning.
Warning. Warning.
So, oh no, yeah. So on this Feel Good Friday, see what you can do to raise the humor level here. And Jenny will be with us from 9. So let's see how everyone's doing. I've got some interesting news stories, as you might imagine. It's April, everybody. Isn't it fantastic? I'm feeling the spring sap continuing to rise in me, and got some interesting news stories to take a look at. And of course, your comments and chat. What's everyone been up to? Let me know what you're doing this weekend. Be nice to know what you're doing this weekend. I have loads of announcements. You've seen some of them before, but we are closer to the time that they are happening. So lots of stuff focusing on the Bairrada district, because that's where my top event correspondent Andy lives, who sends these in. I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 events happening up there in the Bairrada region. Probably better known to us here than most people in the Bairrada region if we know how Portuguese marketing works. But we're doing our best to bring as many events to you, especially the festa-based events, and people enjoying themselves and having a great time as they also are feeling the spring in their bones. And the rising, are you feeling that? Those of you here in Portugal, I know you've had it over there in Belfast, I think until fairly recently. There's some nice, Deagle, you had some good weather. In the UK, had some good weather. Then suddenly it's turned to snow in some parts of the UK. But over here in Portugal, looking out the window, beautiful sunny day. You can see behind me, the sunshine is on the green screen. And it's looking like a pretty nice day. It's pretty blustery, I have to say, when I was out with the dogs earlier on this morning. And it's a bit darker in the mornings, but I have been getting up earlier. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm making more time in the day. Anyone else any feedback from the Vitality in Action program? We're second week, end of the second week. Lots of great contributions. Thanks again to Jenni B. Oh, here's the faculty. Victoria Benson on creativity, Phil Cooklin on dream manifestation, Mrs. M on self-healing, the hypnotic recordings, which it's always nice to hear her voice for me when she's not asking me to put shelves up and do something in the garden. Very relaxing, those. Gentle fitness, a meditation from me. I get up early and do a little meditation in the morning and share that with you live. And garden yoga from the Jenni B, who's shouting out from Nadaduru this morning. So thanks to all of you in that lovely team. Completed the second week. We're taking a weekend's break, and we'll be back again on Monday with more for you. It's been a lot of fun. Okay, so how's everyone doing? Where is everyone? Is Chris at the airport? The flight is even more delayed. Have I missed something here? That's the first comment in at what time was that? 6:56 this morning. The flight is even more delayed as some people couldn't make it to the gate on time, so their bags were offloaded. At least 30 large bags. That's a lot of ruined holidays. Get to the airport very early. So it sounds like Chris might be at the airport and on his way to Portugal. Good man. Midlife crisis world tour. Prof. Who's this in the picture? Is that QPR? And is that Stan Bowles? Like, that's a complete guess. He's going to be shaking his head like he does, I think, when I speak sometimes. Bom dia e boa viagem, Chris. So mais 5 dias for the prof there. Brilliant. Oh, and a today in Portuguese history. So let's kick off with that this morning then. Should we go there this morning? Let me play for you the theme tune. Here we go. Bom, bom. Dum, dum. Oh. Boom. There you go. So today in Portuguese history, 1901. I don't think the picture is of 1901 there, Prof. No disrespect. Today in Portuguese history, 1901, the village of Faro Liplo, Algarve, is swallowed by the largest sinkhole in Western European history. Yikes. And Faro Liplo was a village of approximately 120 people at the turn of the 20th century. In April 1901, a huge sinkhole appeared when a layer of rock underneath the ground was dissolved by a natural spring. Hate it when that happens. Overnight, the majority of the village disappeared, but luckily, all the inhabitants escaped. The village mayor, Manuel Enganay-Vusse, was quoted many years later as saying that, hold on a minute, I think we've got visuals as well for this, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Look, you can see it there. Yikes. The Algarve village of Faro Liplo, 1901, and Mayor Manuel Enganay-Vusse, who said, when I saw it, I thought it could swallow anything. Wowzers. The site remained vacant for many years, but is now an office complex housing, among other things, the Algarve and Alentejo Regional IMT office. IMT in the house this morning. Yikes. Okay, thank you very much for that, Prof. And presumably things continue. Driving license applications continue to be swallowed up on that place in Portuguese geography and history this morning. Thank you very much indeed. So there you go, the Algarve village of Faro Liplo, 1901 there. And the rather fine gentleman who is Mayor Manuel Enganay-Vusse, 1901. Superb. Thank you very much for that, Prof. Let us move on. Deagle's here. Bon dia, Carl. We've all had your fooling around this week. Hold on a minute. Let me just get off the screen what I'm doing. Yes, we've all had, I think, enough of your fooling around this week. This sounds quite stern, doesn't it? So full show at 8:30 a.m. Well, I don't, I'm thinking things come in threes, don't they? So I was wondering what might happen today. We had the wrong link at 8:30 on... so from 8:30 this morning, you want a full show. Okay. Wednesday was the wrong link. Thursday, no power. And so third time lucky. Yes, so things do come in threes, but let's not go with that. Let's go with third time lucky this morning. Thank you, Deagle. Good morning to you all. Bon dia. Carl, I had to talk to Minister of Home Affairs last 2 mornings during breakfast. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was like we're dating again. Was she saying, haven't you got that thing you listen to in the mornings? Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? She didn't know you had technical faults. This is the show 2 days running. Was asked, have you done something? Why you're not listening to... Yes, why are you not listening to your Portuguese shows? Good morning, Minister of Home Affairs. Is this the modern equivalent? You know those old pictures you see, black and white, of father sat in his chair behind the newspaper. All you can see is just the 2 hands holding the newspaper. Is this the modern equivalent of that? People YouTubing and not being available to family at the breakfast table. T-Duck is in. Bon dia, Alegria Gambus, Alan Corran. Mixing it up a little bit this morning, T-Duck. I sometimes wonder if the manufacturers of foolproof items keep a fool or two on their payroll to test things. Well, hey, Anatoly France, it is human nature to think wisely and act foolishly. Oh, yes. Plenty of evidence of that around, right? Mark Twain, the 1st of April is the day we remember what we are. The other 364 days of the year. It's the 1st of April, of course. Will Rogers, the trouble with practical jokes is that very often they get elected. And William Shakespeare, not to be left out here. Better a witty fool than a foolish wit. Excellent stuff. And one more wafer thin quote this morning from Sasha Guthrie. I don't know who that is. Sasha Guthrie. Our wisdom comes from our experience, and our experience comes from our foolishness. Yes, indeed. God bless the mess, as I was saying on Facebook yesterday. My favorite author, morning, Pete. My favorite author is Douglas Adams, and this one I find particularly appropriate for Portugal. Time is an illusion. Lunchtime, doubly so. Yay! It is. Oh yeah, last night on our cost of living, let's compare webinar, we had some lovely. I concluded with a go round of the panel. Thank you very much to Lonnie, to James, who's here now as well, to Andy, who may be in this morning as well, and to Maria Costa over there in Tomar. Just ask them all what their favourite and how much their lunches cost. It was fantastic. You can go safely, folks, to Porto, to Tomar, to Ericeira. Or did I ask? Yes, of course I did. Yes, James, you went out with pals, didn't you? And Andy in the capital as well. James here saying, it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Well, that's not an option I have every morning from 8:30. Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos. Como vai as coisas? What does that mean? How are you doing? How are things going? Yes, how are things going? That's a lovely turn of phrase. Como vão as coisas. It's not easy to say, though. And your Dimitri Martin quote of the day from yesterday. All right. The show was bumpy yesterday and the day before. It looks like things are going okay this morning. If you really think about it, hitting the snooze button in the morning doesn't even make sense. It's like saying, I hate getting up in the morning, so I do over and over and over again. It's true. Guilty as charged. The DA quote for you. Oh, okay, we double quotes everybody because of yesterday. It wasn't me. I don't even know what happened, but we were without power for an hour here. Without power for an hour. I feel a rap coming on over here in San Martino de Porto. But it was all right in the end. It was all right on the night. So the DA quote for yesterday's show, for a moment, nothing happened. Then, after a second or so, nothing continued to happen. And that's how we like it. Baddy's here as well. Bon dia, folks. Beautiful day and a short stop for me here this morning. He's off to buy a car. How's it going, Baddy? Have a good day and a wonderful weekend. Bom fim de semana. Igualmente a você, contigo, to you as well there. Douglas Adams. Oh, yes, that's who the DA is in the aforementioned quotes there. Bon dia, Baddy. From James. Special one to you, Buddy, there from James. And all the best with buying the motor. How to ruin a new relationship. I'm a pathological liar. Just kidding. Hey, that's good. This a one of his just for you, James Holly. My methods of navigation have their advantage. I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I've ended up where I needed to be. Yes, that's fantastic, isn't it? Antenia Juizo. What does that mean? But for some reason, I want to share the first of my news articles with you this morning. And this is, I don't know what to trust to you on the internet, but here's from Stretty News this morning. 2 Portugal fans request Ronaldo's, let's call it life essence, shall we, for this time of the morning, with self-made banner at the World Cup qualifier. These 2 cheeky young ladies here in the picture. It was I need to put it on the screen for you so you can actually see that as well. Let me just scroll back up so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, what's to come of us? 2 Portugal fans then here. It was a night to remember for Portugal, of course, we haven't celebrated this enough, have we? It was a night to remember for Portugal as they qualified for the 2022. Well, it sounds better, doesn't it, when you say 2022 on second thoughts. World Cup after beating North Macedonia 2-0. Who beat South Macedonia? Is there a South Macedonia? Manchester United playmaker, it's a nice way of talking about Bruno Fernandes, scored both goals, with the first being assisted by club and country teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. However, some fans at the Estadio do Dragão, that's up there in Porto, isn't it, wanted to make their feelings known with self-made banners, presumably created in the lead-up to Portugal's crucial playoff match. 2 women were pictured waving a banner which read, Ronaldo, doa-nos o teu. This translates to, Ronaldo, can you donate yours to us? With the banner in question clearly showing an illustration of life essence there. Naughty. I mean, what sort of world is this we live in? Unbelievable. Okay. The first of we have today in Portuguese history, of course, from Falo Lipo, was it? Down there in the south. And that news article. We've got graffiti grannies as well this morning. Let's just say a few more hellos before we go. I'll put them on the screen so you can see what's going on with the. Have you admired the graffiti around Portugal, the street art? Well, not to be left out, some seniors are getting in on the action. And let me see if I can bring that picture while we say a few more greetings to people this morning. Oh, can't see the grandma very clearly there. Let me. Oh, that's a good illustration to leave you with just for the moment before we go into that from atlasofthefuture.org. And thank you to Stretty News for that earlier article. Look, that looks like a cave painting. That's quite a nice little reference there, isn't it? To the ancientness and some of these artists here. So yes, Douglas Adams, that was for you, James. Verdad, Peter Bleach, you like that. Por notar. I can't wait to meet you, Prof. When are you over? I think he said 5 days, didn't he? And Cindy B is here, the aforementioned. Bon dia, Algria Gumpers from beautiful Nadadora this morning. And while we're at it, Pete Bleach, whereabouts are you? Please reveal the mystery location that is. It's like Tracy Island where he lives. I took it to you, Prof, about all things Jerry Anderson just recently on the WhatsApp. Yeah, on time. All right. It was circumstances beyond my control. If it's humanly possible, I am here at 8:30, aren't I? In a Portuguese sort of way, maybe a minute or two late, but there's nothing to get our panties in a bunch about. Set off this Thursday and cross into God's own country on Saturday. Do I need to play the national anthem again? Need to wash the Spain off. Of course. Sarah Smith, bon dia. Now that Portugal has gone to summertime, I can make it to class again. Sarah Smith, good morning to you. And Sam Nazareth here. Hey, Gumpers. How you doing, Sam, this morning? Putting the fun in Fundao. There you go. Cherry Blossom, that's where he is. It's starting soon, the hills. Yeah, it's all about the cherries over there, isn't it? Will be a beautiful shade of pink. You'll have to come see it, James. On time and present. Oh, we're just catching up with ourselves here now. Midlife Crisis World Tour from Pete. Do stop by. You are welcome to stay. How nice is that? Cheers, Pete. And thanks again, mate, for arranging the lovely surprise for Philomena as well, who'll be with us soon. I can never remember the exact schedule. My mind doesn't work like that, but she'll be with us very soon for Feelgood Friday. It may even be a week today. Bon dia all from the OLP. OLP is in the house, everybody. I'll top you up with Bovril if you like, or do you have a hankering for something else? Hankering is a very good word, isn't it? Jack Polly's here. How are you doing this morning, Jack? A little bit of a tumble recently and nursing those wounds. Hope you're feeling better and doing good. Oh, from Suze. Suze, lots of love to you as well this morning with all that you've got going on. And Emily, a new name, Emily Steinman, wondering probably what she's walked into here. So strange to be able to catch you live. Oh, this live video. I arrived in Lisbon for my scouting tour yesterday afternoon. Boa viagem to you. Fantastic. No, bem-vindo. Both. Bem-vindo e boa viagem to you, Emily. How's it going? Where are you? Are you still in the capital or have you moved on already on your scouting tour? Bon dia, Gumpers from Brian. That was hilarious last night. We're talking about mattresses and Brian said he has to get a king size. His dog will put up with nothing less than a king size bed. You don't want a dirty look from a Rottweiler, do you? To be honest, and that's always the best policy. To be honest, though, just excited to hear stories from your childhood in our area. That's the prof then he's speaking to there. Speaking of sinkhole, dad joke warning. Did you hear about the giant? I've already played the warning. Did you hear about the giant sink? I thought this might happen. Did you hear about the giant sinkhole in the highway? The authorities are looking into it. Oh, no. Antonio F. is here. Bon dia todos as well. And the greatest English footballer of his... I was right. It was Stan Bowles. How about that? How did I even know that? That sinkhole must have ruined the spaghetti harvest. QPR fan then. How did that happen? The sinkhole must have ruined the spaghetti harvest. Yes, a classic. Do we grow spaghetti here? Pete, have we got a picture of spaghetti growing that we were told about when we were kids in Italy? They probably do. I mean, the Romans probably would have brought the spaghetti plants here to Portugal as well, wouldn't they? Full show, not to be confused with the full Monty. I don't know. That can be arranged. Pamela Smith, cue music. Bon dia from Pam as well. It was amazing yesterday and will be amazing again on next week's webinar, all about volunteering. Great way to get into the culture here, make Portuguese friends and learn the language. Pam talking about volunteering on next week's Ask Our Expats flavored webinar next Thursday. A great webinar last night. Oh, thanks for that, Brian. That's good to hear. Love your feedback. Anyone else there? What did you think? Bon dia, Carl, and everyone. From Michelle in Oz. Okay, so you're wondering what's on the screen there. Let's have a look at this the Atlas of the Future piece, Graffiti Grandmas, Street Arts for Seniors. I smell a rat here, don't you? The streets, and I'm not talking about the air quality in Lisbon, Andy, don't worry. The streets of Portugal are being turned into vibrant canvases as wrinkle wall writers, that is so disrespectful, get to grips with spray cans, proving that age is just a number. And that number looks great tagged on, and that number looks great tagged on walls in neon pink and yellow. Look at them. Watch out, ladies. The cops are coming. Graffiti, they can't exactly run away. No disrespect. They're going to have their mobility scooters parked up and handy and turning over, right? With switched on and ready to jump on and go. Graffiti might have once been considered deviant. It's a good word, isn't it? But it's now, it's a sort of word the CIA use that, isn't it? Deviant. But it's now a prominent form of public art by helping older men and women understand youth culture. Leading intergenerational urban art workshop, Latter 65, is creating badass senior citizens who can find something in common with teenagers. I think that generation gap isn't the most difficult one. It's the parents and the teenagers, isn't it? I'm often your grandma or granddad is your best ally in teenage life. Latter is a clever name because it means tin can, very good, but it also means nerve. It can take courage for older people to step out of their comfort zone, put on the mask, I suppose, and gloves and start spraying on walls. It would go against their upbringing, I suspect, most of the time, unless they were revolutionaries, of course, and they were used to it a few years back in the day. And wouldn't that be great to meet a Portuguese revolutionary who would have been a teenager themselves, perhaps, and graffitiing the walls of 70s Portugal in a political way? It can take courage for older people to step out of their comfort zone and learn something new. This is street art for the young at heart. Excellent stuff. It is possible and desirable to awaken, motivate, and excite older people through urban art. Wake up, Grandad. It's graffiti time. Says Lara Sejo Rodriguez there. With a background in architecture, Lara was always fascinated by the textile. Oh, look, Covilhã, everybody, by the textile industry of our hometown of Covilhã, a small town in the center of Portugal, and wanted to remember its forgotten community using art. Covilhã was once the most interesting success stories in the Portuguese textile industry, but it progressively declined as factories began to close down and buildings were left abandoned. But those empty buildings have made a fantastic. Some of these aren't grannies here in this picture, are they? It's like 100 is the new 70, isn't it? And those ladies, I don't look that old to me, but still a great project. I'm not knocking it. As Lara started putting on live painting events in Covilhã, she noticed how the older locals befriended the street artists. We witnessed daily pilgrimages of older people leaving their homes not to go to mass or a card game, but to follow the painting performances. Well done, Lara. That's fantastic. Latter 65 has taken more than 600 young people over 65 years old. 600 on street art campaigns in neglected neighborhoods, bringing them together with today's most respected urban artists. That is fantastic. I will put the link to that so that you can take a look for yourself and verify yourself. You can fact check that all you like on this special day in not just Portuguese history, but around the world. Atlas of the Future. Thank you very much. There's a prof who sent that to me. Superb. What else have we got? Oh, they are making a full Monty follow-up near my sister-in-law's house. I know someone in Sheffield where it was made. I used to live in Sheffield in the UK. And the bedroom scene where the guy climbs out the window, I know the guy, the couple who own that house where that happened. James from Michelle this morning. And Juizo is judgment. Thank you very much. But why is he saying that? I wonder. Why was he saying that earlier on? From Pete to Pam, I think I may have seen some of your sister's homemade audition tapes. Stop it, Peter. Inappropriate, Peter. Dad joke from Chris. My wife dresses to kill. She cooks the same way. Oh, yeah. What are you having for dinner tonight? Eating out, by the sound of it, Mr. Polly. A new €2 commemorative coin is on sale. That's a toonie if you're Canadian. It celebrates the 100 years of the South Atlantic air crossing by, yes, we mentioned this yesterday, didn't we? By Secadura, Cabral, and Gago Coutinho. So Cabral and Coutinho are the almost like the Orvilles in a sense, aren't they? Was that right? No, the Wrights, Wilbur and Orville Wright. Why did I call him the Orvilles? That a different kind of flight from Orville. Only the British, I think, will understand that. I can't. Yes, you can. Lots of comments, which I'll scroll through to say good morning to Kathy this morning. Kathy's here. Good morning. Great broadcast on cost of living yesterday. Thank you. My pleasure, Kathy. I wasn't sure about it, actually. It's very chatty and informal, but so glad that people liked it so much. Fantastic. And for Kealele is here as well. Bon dia from South Africa. How you doing, my friend? You haven't been here for a while. Hope you're well. That ter is in the infinite. So the proper way would be to say, ten un bon de fin de semana, or if you're close intimate, tenez un bon fin de semana in a more formal way. Thank you, Antonio F., for that correction there. Going well over there in Australia, says Michelle. Trying to record the local kookaburras. Totally kookaburras. I love the sound. Can we have that recording as well? We'll play it here because it'll be lovely to hear that. And only 53 days and 52 sleeps till I'm in Portugal again. Just a reminder there, Deagle reminding himself out loud among the community here, where we, of course, have our own coat of arms. I was just reminded this morning. There's our coat of arms. The man who made that fantastic remake of the Portuguese national anthem, also the creator of that coat of arms, and a little bit of what's that called? Heraldry, our ancestral paraphernalia there, the coat of arms for the Gumpers. Thank you so much, Warren, for all you do for us. Much appreciated. And we have more comments coming in this morning. Look, yes, Baldilocks is here shouting this morning from California to the Joao and the James. I'm saying James instead of James. Isn't that interesting what starts to happen? I really appreciate being pulled up, and my understanding is really improving. What's that about your inappropriate jokes, Pete, or your Portuguese pronunciation? But I still try and ask questions with closed answers. Yes, that's a good tactic. Excellent strategy there for the. Was it the expat moment that you were talking about yesterday, Cindy? And this is one of them, isn't it? Yes, ask a closed question so that you don't get the rapid fire response, so that you're just standing there wondering what just happened. I grew up in Philadelphia. Even as a 60-something, graffiti looks like an entirely appropriate social activity. Yes, go for it. Head up to the north there. Jeans in two. Olá, pessoas. Tarde para a festa hoje. Oh, very good. Late to the party today, but you're most welcome. You know that, don't you? Is that graffiti grandma story an old one? I remember a similar one from years ago. I don't know. I didn't check the date on that. Let me just do that very quickly. It might be. It's an oldie but goodie. I can't see a date stamp on it, actually. So yeah, the thing was created, I think, in 2012. That is some time ago, but still a lovely story to report on, isn't it? And they have immortalized themselves, haven't they, with their graffiti work? My grandma did that, you could say as you drove past. Really? My grandma's a better graffiti artist than your grandma. Wow, that's what Portuguese teenagers can say. Okay, and that's the link for it there, Pam, if you want to check for yourself. It's on the screen. Dougie's here. Big 6-week European road trip starts tomorrow. Interesting. Okay. Oh, yes. That which reminds me, moving around, expat or immigrant. Yes, I'm afraid so, folks. That old thing that people bang on about. I saw it only yesterday on a Facebook group. Is it expat? Is it immigrant? We can't rebrand as immigrants Portugal, for one thing. Foreigners Portugal doesn't sound too good either. But the UN have come to the rescue of this situation. And let me share with you from the Portugal resident today this quite extraordinary article. Sorry, don't like to call them stories, call them articles. And here it is. Expat or immigrant, a UN steps in no less with a new term to end the age-old debate. Check this out from the Portugal resident published today. Alongside the challenges of mass famine, climate disruption, and global conflicts, the name for people moving from one country to another has long consumed the minds of social scientists, sociologists, and those virtue signaling at dinner parties and in Facebook groups. Thanks to a recent multi-million-dollar research and development breakthrough at the United Nations, a solution to this age-old scientific semantic battle is now in sight. Yay! A 927-page report has been published today that means someone seeking a new and peaceful start away from a war zone or looking to exploit a more advantageous cost of living somewhere sunny can now be united. I almost feel like I should play the national anthem or some hallelujah music. They can now be united under a single banner. William Guterres, I think that's how to pronounce his name, a macro-forensic anthropologist based at Stanford University's Department of Transglobal Migratory Patterning, has been working with a UN multidisciplinary team. Isn't that how they work? Funded by the Rovex Corporation. Sounds like something from a Bond movie, doesn't it? The market leaders in human tracking technology. I'm a Wefman, CEO of said Rovex, is delighted with this 25-year-long research project, took their time, and has called this innovation the DNA of migratory movement. For centuries, the lack of a catch-all term to lump all newcomers, foreigners and strangers in one box has caused untold social discomfort, don't we know it? And whilst there are pharmaceutical drugs and underground organizations available to deal with the problem, in which we are also heavily invested, we believe this new addition to the lexicon of relocation will be a game changer, he added. Project manager Guterre and colleagues are celebrating today, after their epic effort, and will later address the world's media at a landmark press conference in 652 simultaneously translated languages. Check this out, folks. At the event, they will unveil the UN, NATO, and Pfizer-backed term Homo sapien undergoing movement across nations, or human for short. The problem of all this moving around to find a better life and what we call those individuals involved in it makes controlling the world very difficult, said project co-founder Klaus Schwab. Human people can now be united under a single banner and be happy about it. We are, especially now that each soon-to-be released mandatory digital certificate of human identification lets us know where everyone is at any given time. How about that, folks? Finally, you don't need to worry about that anymore. Is it expat or immigrant? The term you can use is human. Thank you, Portugal resident, for that. Hola, Antonio from Jean there. And Peter Bleach fuel was well over 150 when I booked it, so not drastically more. Only 15 to 20%. See, we're already taking this in our stride, aren't we? Droogs! The cost of living crisis. It's got that Build Back Better ring to it, isn't it? Cost of living crisis, cost of living crisis. Oh, look, the prices have gone up, just like they said they would. Droogs! What does that mean? Dougie, yes, I hope you have secured that mortgage to pay for the petrol. Indeed, 6-week road trip. That's going to set you back, isn't it? Unless he's taken to the bicycle. He might have taken to the bicycle. Okay. NATO, UN and Pfizer. Sorry, what? Yeah, you saw it. The link to that article I will put into the comments now. Jenni B is here, folks. To have a little bit of a giggle with us this morning. And let me put the link to that Portugal resident thing, causing some difficulty for Sam in Australia over there. So that's on the screen for you now. Mrs. M is in. Yes, I would love a coffee, please. No pranks. It's Feelgood Friday. Sexta-feira, the only day with sex in it, remember? Let me humour in Portuguese there for the same thing that we were talking about just then. Even if I can't remember what it stands for, I guess that might be true for most humans, says James. Possibly. Okay, Riot. Let's not waste those millions and years. I now declare myself a human. And tenha juízo, what every Portuguese parent says to their kids 25 times a day. It's like a be good then, is it? Peace and happiness to you, Jenni B, and also a bit of an afterthought there. Let's bring her onto the screen, shall we, to receive that in person. Jenni B, good morning to you. It's Feelgood Friday.
Good morning. It's Feelgood Friday. Bon dia alegria.
Bon dia alegria. And we're going to have a little bit of fun this morning, aren't we? I'm feeling the mirth bubbling up. There is a fact check I want to do. Because, we've got the Rainbow Guardians project. You love the sound of laughter in the woods, don't you? As the kids get involved with nature there. I think that's probably a sound you live for, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the sound of the tweeting birds.
The tweeting birds and the children playing. That's a perennial, isn't it? That to me is a very special sound. And we were able to enjoy it. We came to visit you. Team Munson came to see you last... was it last Saturday?
Yeah.
And I had the best sleep I've ever had for a long time in one of the tents, which was great fun. Not that I knew a lot about it, but I woke so rested. It was though Mother Earth was giving me a cuddle. And that's how Never mind about the kids. That's how it's supposed to work, and that's what I enjoyed. Was that meant to happen then, Jenny? Did you know that would happen all along, that I would crash out and enjoy myself
Of
in the woods
course
there?
not. Of course not. But it was really sweet because I remember you were actually the one who named the tent the transformation tent.
Is
And
that
then
right?
it was just great to see you just nodding away there and feeling still so peaceful with all the kids jumping on you and the
Yes. Well,
Olympic pillow fight around you.
yeah, thank you for that. I mean, that was really quite annoying, but I didn't have it in me to be annoyed. It was such a peaceful and beautiful, well, atmosphere that you've created there, and I was able to go into quite a deep slumber with this pillow fight going on around me in your lovely tent in the woods there. So thank you so much. I think we might have a few photos, mightn't we? You might share on the screen in a little while, or do you want me to do that?
If you have them there, I'd love you to do that because I
I
think I'm
will
still
find
not
out what
set
we
it
can.
for sharing screen.
Okay, all right. Well, I will do that. I think people want to say hello to you this morning.
It
I
was
don't know if
so cool.
that might be Welsh. Oh, yeah, we'll come back to our experience with you on last Saturday, and afterwards we went into Tamar, where the fun continues. It's beautiful in Tamar at the moment. Well, it's always beautiful in Tamar, but they've got the kids' activity things in the centre of town. You can zip wire across the river. Have you done that?
No, I haven't. I've been there the next day very briefly to check it, and
Mm,
I just really like the idea of having this market called time of change or renewal, and
yes.
offering so many really nice things. That was really cool, and hopefully for the next edition, I can be there as well and do activities with the kids.
Yeah, I mean they've got those those great big inflatable see-through plastic balls that you can get inside on the water, folks. It's
Oh
quite
my God.
extraordinary. They're a great company, and I forgot to make a note of their name. But if you go to Tamar and take the kids or just have a coffee and a beer and watch all the fantastic activities that are going on, there's a lovely cafe, children's playground, park in the centre of town in there. Tamar is fantastic. Now I don't know if this is Welsh for hi. It could be from Dougie. I don't know what's actually going on there. But Pete is wishing you a great road trip, Dougie. There, have a great time and check in with us. Let us know where you are as you're moving around Europe. Peace and happiness to you, Jenny B, and also to you, Carl, there from the OLP. And yes, we're all declaring ourselves human this morning, Jenny, because there's been this expat immigrant debate that goes on and on. It's been sorted out by the UN. You can basically just call yourself human now, which is quite a break.
Wow.
Yes, you can. You can.
Wow.
How do you tend to refer to yourself when you're describing yourself?
Earthling.
Earthling. Yes. Very good. Yes, we like that.
Because
Troglodytes.
you
Might be a that might be a different part of the conversation. I don't. Do you? Some people here referring to themselves as Oh, that's for the man cavers, isn't it? Of course. That's Garvo, the godfather of the man cave, shouting out to his proteges there. Morning to you, Garvo. How's it going, mate? Sorry, I interrupted you there, Jenny.
No, all good. I just wanted to say that sometimes I'm still having difficulties to, hi, Michelle, to have, to make peace with the fact of being human. So
Yeah.
Earthling is more, I can make more friends with that because you know how humans can be. It's like,
Oh, tell me about it.
ah.
Oh, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Sam Nazare, greetings, fellow Earthlings, and a guten Morgen from Joao F. Jenny B. Oh, look at this. Can you read that for us?
Yes, I can. Guten Morgen, Jenny B. Wie immer freue ich mich riesig auf Ihre Anwesenheit in diesem Show. Es ist schon lange her, seitdem ich Sie zum letzten Mal gesehen habe. Meinen Sie, wir dürfen uns duzen? Ja, Joao, sehr gerne dürfen wir uns
Bless
duzen.
you. When I hear German, I just want to say bless you.
Get well soon.
That's right. Here's a cough sweet. Dr. Bayard, of course. So what's he saying there? What's he saying there, Jenny?
He's saying, "Good morning, Jenny B. As usual, I'm really liking to your presence in this show. It's been a long while since I saw you the last time. Do you think we can go into the informal way of talking to each other? Because you know the Germans, they have the formal and the informal, and he was
Uh-huh.
very formal there. So of course, once my boss told me oh my God, I was I think 14 working in an animal park, and then he was saying to me, Jen, when you notice when you're getting old, and I was like, when young people start to use the formal version towards you, and I'm like,
Yes.
oh, that happened already.
Oh, right, yes. So similar to Portuguese, then there is
Yeah,
that difference. Okay, well, good to know. João F, your command of German is really rather good. Sehr good, if I may say so.
yeah, cool.
Nice. I think he's spent a bit of time there, quite possibly there. And Antonio saying hello to Andy, and a lot of people saying hello to Andy this morning. You're great last night, Andy. Thank you for your input on the webinar. Hey, it gets better. What's happening? Oh no, he's got a burst water pipe. I'm running late this morning as I have a burst water pipe under the kitchen cupboards. Great thing is he knows how to fix things like that. So I'm sure that'll be sorted out with chewing gum, gaffer tape and WD-40. And what you can do, if I may just give you a little bit of, I'm teaching my grandmother not to do graffiti, but to suck eggs here. A great little tip, if you're mending a water pipe, and I've done this in the past, is you can push bread into a water pipe to stop it dripping. It's what we used to do when we were soldering copper pipe together, and you need it to be dry. You can't solder on a wet pipe. And if the plumbing, bear with me, if the plumbing of the house is such that even if you've turned it off, there's still a residual drip of water, which is cooling down the solder, obviously, and it can't get hot enough. You just get some of your packed lunch that you've taken with you as a workman, and you stuff it in the pipe. You take some bread and you roll it up and you stuff it into the pipe. And that stops the water for long enough to do the solder. And then, of course, and you're thinking, oh, how are you going to get the water out? Well, you turn the tap on and eventually the water dissolves and just blasts out of the tap. And all you're left with is a nasty mess in the sink and the smell of toast if you did it right. So there you go, Andy. Little tip. You're very welcome. Follow me on Instagram for more domestic odd tips like that.
I'd like DIY videos of you, Carl, in that regard.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Terjuízo, have some sense. Yes, Portuguese parents saying this to children 25 times a day. And juízo final. This is a good word to know, juízo. I thought it was something to do with juice. Final judgment, for example. Thank you very much, João F, for that. We learned so much. And a bon dia, Jenni B, from Antonio F as well. This is how Andrew describes himself. I'm a bipedal being on the third rock from the sun. That's not a chat up line, though, is it? I would be worried if someone approached me with that.
I wouldn't put that in a dating app.
No, Andrew. He doesn't need to worry about things like that anymore. But be careful out there with such descriptions. If Jenny's here, I better go put my trousers on. Talking of being formal, he's being formal, I think.
I'm glad you're not saying Jenny's there, I'm taking my trousers off. So.
Yes, that is the better of the two options. The laughs have begun, folks. The laughs have begun. I like Earthling. It keeps all occupants of this planet as one. Zero separation from all others. There you go. Burst pipe on a snowy morning. That sounds quite poetic like that, doesn't it? Uncle Krusty's here. So good to see you both last night. Look at this. Hola. Aloha y bon dia, Jenny and Carl. Oh, so good to see you both last night, Uncle Krusty, in your streaming outfit there. Ready for streaming. Let the silliness shine. We'll take it. We will take it.
And just on that note, whichever wonders are you going to expect today? I'm crossing fingers, sending hearts and aloha's and lavas and the whole lot.
Okay, brilliant. It was so good to see you both last night, and I think you've been meeting with quite a few. I mean, you might not want to say, they might not want you to say, some of our friends here, but suffice to say, a few people have been popping over to the woods, haven't they, and seeing you in your natural habitat.
Yes, my natural habitat.
Yeah, that's just David Attenborough will make a documentary about you one of these days.
Oh yeah.
The migratory creature known as Jenni B has made it from her original Germany to be in the Portuguese forest. There she is. Hello, Jenni B from Mrs. M as well.
Oh, hey, Louisa.
Hold on a minute. Soggy sandwich. Sounds like you're in for a soggy sandwich for breakfast, according to Carl. No, it works. It works. Good morning. No, don't eat it after you've done the soldering, unless you're really hungry. Good morning. That would be horrible, wouldn't it? With solder and flux and all sorts in there. Good morning, Carl. Yes, the taste. Well, yeah, copper's good for you, but only in small amounts. I think. Good. No, I'm not a doctor. In case anyone was taking that as medical advice, that was not medical advice. Good morning, Carl. Hello, Jenny B. Nice to meet you. Wishing you both a fabulous day from Amy Patterson. Good morning, Jenny B. This was a little treat to you, Jenny. I imagine it is always good to speak in your own beautiful language once in a while. Do you find that?
Thank you. Yeah, every now and then it's really good also not to forget things, because really sometimes when I talk with my sister on the phone, she's just laughing because I'm like, how do you say that again in German? And she's like, I don't know, I don't speak English. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, it's so funny. It's really funny.
Practice, isn't
So
it?
I
All
used
about
to
the
be
practice.
very eloquent in German, but I think that time's over.
Do you mainly speak in English now?
Yeah.
Because I suppose it's the most it's the Venn diagram intersection for most of the people you'd be meeting who are immigrants, expats, foreigners, or identifying as BPTRS, which is the bipedal third rock from the sun person. One for the man cave calendar, Carl wearing a tool belt and builder's boots. I'm so up for that. Yes, just set the date for the studio. I will be there. Everyone he's still got time, hasn't he? He may have a burst pipe, as the actress said to the bishop, but he is still happy to chip in. Happy April. Oh, is it April Fool's Day today? By the way, you got me with the immigrant or expat debate article. I think it might have been UN and Pfizer that did it, right? We're all just a bunch of talking monkeys flying through the universe on an organic spaceship. Well, speak for yourself there, T-Duck. But that's
I
got a nice...
like it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? I learned German as my second mother language. Oh, that's why Joao F has got such a great command since the age of 4.
Wow.
Eins, zwei, vier. Yeah, vier. Yeah, okay. So I really do love speaking German. There you go. And hola, so BPTRS Andrew's introduction. Yeah. And I've heard Mia saying the Portuguese alphabet. We've played it here. It's very unusual when you hear the pronunciation of the letters, which presumably some people go through while they're learning Portuguese here. It was news to me, I have to say, some of the strange pronunciations. Any road up. We'll go back to the laughter of children, Jenny. There's an urban myth. There's a fact check to do here. Do you know how many times? Have you heard this thing? How many times do you think children laugh in a day?
Now, I remember I heard the statistics once. I think it's around 350 times or something.
Bang on. Look at you. So the Laughter Online University, which sounds like something we should belong to, I think. Urban myth, children laugh 300 to 400 times a day. So that is what is said, and you're spot on there with your estimation of 350. But adults, only 17 and a half. And I don't know what a half laugh is. I was saying earlier on. But anyway, the fact check here. Yeah, it's just a huh. And then you catch yourself laughing and think, I'm not going to laugh right now. It's inappropriate.
Silly. It's so silly.
Yes, it's so silly.
So silly.
What's wrong with me laughing like that? If it was true, then children awake 12 hours a day would be laughing at least once every, that was a laugh trying to come out. Laughing at least once every 1 to 2 minutes from sunrise till sunset. And let's face it, as much as we love the sound of children laughing every 1 to 2 minutes could get a little bit on you, could grind your gears a little bit. For the adults, studies are limited and inconsistent. Do we need to launch this research project, Jenny? How many times?
No, but I think we can help people to get into action without needing to go through the whole study, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is we're laughing more. And that's what we're here this morning, eh? And
Yes.
it's really funny. I think the number got up. I think a couple of years ago when I saw the study, it was only 11 times. And
oh, really?
It's got up a little bit. So we're having good times by the looks of it. But you know what I find is really interesting. Because what people might not be aware, that children actually do that very much often to release emotions, and we can do that too.
Yep.
And so the big thing with releasing emotion is really to get into vibration. And when you're crying, if you think about what your body, what kind of a movement it does like so you're a bit shaking with your upper body.
Yeah.
And when you're laughing, it's actually the same. When you go like, there's also vibration on the chest. It's the diaphragm that holds so many emotions, and that you can really nice release through laughter or crying. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's the same release, and your body actually does not differentiate between a real and a false laugh after 10 seconds. So if you really just go into it, and I don't know if you want, we can do a little laughter yoga thingy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Well, we're not strangers to that here. We had what's she called, Anna Banana, and it does feel quite weird as we're about to discover, but it's really good for you, I think. So let's give that a go in just a minute. We've got a few more messages before we go into that. So loosen your tight clothing, folks. Take your trousers off, or I'll put them on, whatever it is you need to do, right? Because actually, he's put his trousers on to go to the doctor, but you might be taking them off again when you get there. I don't know what the problem is, but Prof saying to us, off to the doctors now, don't do anything good without me. I'm sorry, we will. You'll have to watch the replay and come. I can just see the Prof doing laughter yoga. So make sure you watch the laughter yoga segment on replay, please, Prof. A lot of us want to see that. Just to conclude that last bit there, both adults and children laugh primarily during social interactions with others, and we can count this as one of those. Consequently, the frequency of laughter at any age depends on how much time an individual spends interacting with others. I don't know how I got left onto the next page, but it's true, isn't it? I laugh alone. I do think of things from the past, and I start giggling, and I might be in an inappropriate situation sometimes when that's happening. And I although embarrassed, I feel really good about that, and I don't mind laughing on my own and having someone come into the room and saying, rather than like being crying in a room alone and someone saying, "Oh, what is it?" Like, why are you laughing on your own in the room? I think I like that a lot. I'm not embarrassed about that, and I would encourage you all to do that. When you think of something funny, just to laugh out loud, and let's see what we can do. So we want your jokes. We want your jokes this morning. Dad jokes, any kind of jokes, sophisticated jokes as well. Let's see if we can get the laughter quotient, the LQ, up this morning, and maybe we can push it beyond 17 and a half laughs this morning.
Do
Okay.
you know what a really funny bit is? I also like laughing to myself, and particularly about myself, because if you think about it and you allow yourself to have maybe a little bit more of this childish perspective towards life, then oh my God, are we not all really ridiculous? Like in everyday little things, it's like, yeah, I did it again.
Yep, there I did it again. Laugh or cry, I did it again. This is even more difficult now. TMF, good luck with that, Thunder. Yeah, I think we do have to sort of truncate that a little bit, possibly. You could just introduce yourself as was it a flying monkey? As well as a duck.
Yeah, it was that organic spaceship. Yeah.
Yep. Be well, my life. Is that an Australian greeting there? Have a silly day. I have to go and be sensible. Does he, though? Does he have to go and be sensible?
Come on, Andrew. Don't pretend.
Come on.
Come on. Voila.
I mean, he's not talking about the man cave. That's never sensible, is it? Oh, and we'll come back to this one. Let me just star that comment because I'm sure you've got more good news for us on that front, Jenni B, with the fundraising and the Rainbow Guardian project. But we need to laugh, first of all. Good morning, people. Good morning, good people. Love this laughter. Cheers, Bob. Great to have you here. In a workshop in New York, we were put in groups and had to make up a game. Ours was the laughter game. And that's all we did for 30 minutes. I bet that was good, wasn't it? James, I love a good belly laugh, mine and or others. Yes, it's love. That's what people love about you, Jenni, giggling on here, among other things. But I mean, certainly you bring that to the party. Bon dia todos from Jim White. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much for your contribution. And Antonio F. DeLogo to Andrew Gilchrist, who is going off to be sensible. You have our commiserations. I would have thought your students would let your hair down today on a Friday. We love your giggling here too. There you go. For you, Jenni. As usual, you master your role as a show host with extraordinary wit and sense of humor in spite of people like me. Not at all, Joao F. Come on, the things you send me on WhatsApp. And laughter is so contagious. Just try a group laughing meditation. Yeah, it goes from discomfort, doesn't it? And an awkwardness, and then you cross a threshold, and we may well cross that threshold this morning. Our revenge will be the laughter. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
No.
Our revenge will be the laughter of our children. That's pretty profound, actually. Quote by Bobby Sands, who died on hunger strike in Belfast in 1980. That's very moving. It doesn't take much to get me going and get watery. That has made me watery. Deagle, our revenge will be the laughter of our children. First of 10 to die for political rights while in jail. He could still have the presence of mind to say that, though. My goodness. Woof.
Goosebumps all over.
Yeah, man. Man, oh man, mensch. Oh, have you heard of? Is that right? Am I allowed to say that? Right. Okay. Have you heard about the 12-step program for people who can't stop talking? It's called On and On and On and On. That's very good. Hello, my name's James, and I can't stop talking. If every day were April Fools, maybe people would stop taking life so seriously. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we have this day in a way, don't we, to show that it's okay to lie once a year. But we've blurred the lines a little bit, I think, in recent times, haven't we? It's lost its power because you're only meant to tell lies one day a year on April Fool's Day. But I think people have extended that, haven't they, to a 365 pattern. I'm generally thank you for that, and good morning to you, Fiona and Simon. I'm generally perceived it as nonsensical. Well, that's a good chat up line, and I'm really good at it. I'm told. Yeah, we can relate. I get to have fun in the evening in the cave. Yes, you do. Yeah, man cave. Send us a link, Andrew, for others who might want to witness that spectacle. And you send out puzzles to us. Yeah, we're left scratching our heads every morning, James. So bit of laughter yoga then, Jenni B.
Why not?
Why not indeed?
Whoever can get up, because it's much nicer if you're standing. I will do that, Carl. I know you're kind of attached to the.
Well, I could kneel up. I could push the chair away and kneel up. Would that be a better posture for me?
No, but that would be more fun for us.
Yeah, and it would hurt my poorly knee. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it for the team. Let's do it.
Take it for the team.
And right. I don't know if you saw if I had trousers on there or not. I'm not going to do that again.
Oh, lucky I put some on this morning.
It is. And don't kick over the yogurt pot if that's on the floor as well in there.
Thanks for the reminder.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do first is, just to give it a bit of a swing so we get some action to the body. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
And if you want, you can also shake a little bit just to get going and to get the energy.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop. Also,
now
a nice way to release. Kids do that a lot. Dogs do that a lot, but we don't. Yeah, okay. I like that move, Carl. Really cool. And you get all your trance moves out now.
I do. And stop watching and start taking part. Okay, everybody. We know if you're not doing this. Jenni and I are highly psychic, and we will know if you're just sitting there watching and laughing.
Absolutely. James, get up.
James, get up. Michelle, get up. Andrew, get up. Jim. And the OLP. Come on. Everybody, let's do this.
Right the horse.
Woo! Ow! Okay. Oh,
right. So what we can do is we go through a couple of syllables, and what we do is we just shout it out. So we're going to start with a nice ha. I'm going to show it to you, and then you can just follow me and join me in there. So we're going to start with a
Oh dear.
You should have brought a bucket for this morning, maybe, Carl.
Look, well done, Kathy. Well done, Kathy. Excellent. I'm doing it, laughing already. Anyone working in the office, do it as well. Your colleagues won't say anything. If you do this in your office,
they just join.
Yeah, they'll either join in or they'll ignore you. If it's in a British office, people will just ignore you doing this, and you'll sit back down, and no one will say a word about it for the rest of the day. So don't worry, go for it.
In Germany, you will get a warning. But now, from ha, let's go to he.
I'd like one of those German warnings. Okay.
So from ha, let's go to he. So we go.
Oh. Oh no! It's
Oh, we need to get the defibrillator already.
These are being installed all over the place at the moment.
Just breathe. Just breathe.
Mm.
Now we go from the heart to the heat to the hat when we do that.
My favorite.
And now we do the ho.
Oh. With a slap, with a lederhosen thigh slap, everybody.
And we can take that into the who. The who. And now we can do them all together, just randomly. Okay, Carl had a heart attack. No, there he is.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Woo. So now all of them together.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's really shaking things up for me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Look at this. This is not April Fool's Day. This is rather April Looney's Day. So yes, we should say, for anyone who's just tuned in, this is perfectly normal on Feel Good Friday, everybody. What we're endeavouring to do. Just give me a chair. Oh, just get back in the chair. Trousers on. Yes, anyone who's tuned in late, we are trying to get grown adult humans, or whatever we call ourselves, living on the third rock from the sun, laughing more than 17.5 times a day. I think we probably made a new record there. I'm a little bit out of breath, but that is, I mean, my goodness, I can feel the energy coursing through my veins now. That's quite a workout, isn't it?
You get warm, it's good for your belly, it's good for your whole system, you get the energy going, and you're having fun. I mean, but like you said, at the beginning, it might be a bit awkward. Yeah. And it's really nice, actually, to see more of the faces. So what's funny to do if you're on your own, just make it in front of the mirror. It's so funny to see your own face, how you're laughing away.
Yeah, I'm energized, and so is the OLP. Look at that. Yeah, doing it in front of the mirror as well, maybe naked. Wowza, that makes one feel so good. Well done, OLP. I will have a double of what Carl and Jenny's. You've got to do it, Fiona and Simon. What are you waiting for? Karen and I enjoyed that immensely. Oh, that's good. Over there in the Yonker household this morning. That's fantastic. And now we all feel wonderful. Who is one of the 7 dwarves, I think. Gary Orgles watched them. Yes, watching funny movies. Isn't that great? Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we all do this as frequently as possible? Yes. Well, there's the question. Yes, my muscles have relaxed. Nurse!
It's the natural tranquilizer that you carry around yourself. Huh? You know your body is actually the best pharmacy. So it's all there. It's just a matter of knowing how to tickle the substance out of you. And laughing is just great.
Oh, man. Okay, so 2 questions there. You said your body is a pharmacy. That's interesting. And why would we not do it? So let's go with the first one now. I mean, you are a trained professional pharmacist, aren't you? That's your background. Yeah. You're transferring that to the body now. What do you mean the body is a pharmacy?
I mean, if it is, we can produce so many things on our own, and we have a much higher healing capacity than we think in our worldview nowadays, which makes sense if you think about that. All of our understanding of healing is based on pills and pharmaceutical industry, but that is not real healing, because if you think about that, if these products would really make us healthy, nobody would earn from that, and it's really not their interest. Sorry to disappoint somebody here, but so the thing is, why I'm saying our body is our best pharmacy, because we produce the things that make us sick, but therefore we can also reverse that and take ourselves into healing.
Yeah.
And again, dogs are a great example, or animals are a great example for me there, because if you think about, I like to use dogs because a lot of us have pet dogs, or at least can refer to doggy behavior, and might have seen that with dogs or cats. If they are feeling not good, or they need to, or they feel sick or whatever, they just chill. They're just lying there and they're just sleeping.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, in Germany, I heard that quite a lot when I was a child, and I believe there might be something similar in England, or in the English language, that it says, when you're sick, um, sleep sleep really helps you to recover so much. But
Uh,
if you think about it, how often do you take yourself time when you're not feeling good to just rest and just
yes,
don't do
indeed.
anything? But we keep on treating our body like a machine, but even a machine needs to stop every now and then, and needs to get some maintenance. You need to refill some oil, you might need to tie another screw, and all these things. So even if you have that really harsh perspective on your body, which so many of us have, and it's no offense, it's just what we learn,
Yes.
but it is so much more than just your machine and your vehicle. It is your experience tool for this human, earthling, whatever experience that you're having here. And it allows you to laugh. It allows you to cry. It allows you to give somebody a hug. It allows you to feel water on your skin, to breathe air, and all these things. And we just take it for granted. And
Yes. My
so,
God,
if we
yes.
get a bit of understanding for our body and how symptoms occur, because our body is constantly talking to us, there is no one moment where your body is not in interaction with you and the mind and your gut and the whole lot. And usually, any disease comes from an imbalance in your body. And that imbalance mostly comes from a not very beneficial mindset, let's say, that can be old, from some hurts we have experienced as a child. And there we are again, the good old inner child that sometimes still remote controls us. But these mindset then makes us sick on several. It might not be as obvious as we think, as like, okay, if I smoke, I might potentially get lung cancer. But what it is that, for example, when you tend to have when you tend to feel depressed, which is very often because you have a rather negative orientated mindset. So when you see a situation, you'd rather picture the worst case, or think about all the things that could go wrong and all the what ifs and so on. And therefore, your body is rather tensed. Therefore, you produce a lot more cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Therefore, your body stores also acids more easily. Therefore, your whole system is over acid. Therefore, your microbiome is not ideal. Therefore, you crave sugars and carbs and the whole lot. Through that, you tend to go back into negative thinkings and the whole lot. It's all interconnected. And once you understand that, you can actually catch in any moment, and you will, sooner or later, if you try to put in a little effort just to team up with your body, then you will be able to become such an expert that you will feel and understand what your body is trying to tell you. And you can be the best medicine, that is prevention.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's so much I can resonate with in what you're saying there. I mean, the first thing is how unkind we are to our bodies, right? In this age, we really treat them like a. It's like, what is it? Treat it like a rental. It's
Yeah,
almost being treated like in the worst possible way, like a hire car, isn't it?
yeah,
Doesn't matter to me. It's not my car. I'm just going to drive it into the ground. And someone has to take care of it at some point. And if it's the one you're driving for the rest of your life, it might be good to be you. And so, and the rest, this crazy culture we live in is not conducive to us worshipping our bodies, really, is it? It's quite the opposite in many ways. so many messages to be accusing the body and judging the body in so many negative ways. And as you say, that contributes to its wellness and our own state of mind ultimately in this whole sort of holistic, cyclical, integrated picture that that you've articulated so beautifully there, Jenny. So yes, there you go. We are our own pharmacy, and we will come back to this question: why wouldn't we laugh and make ourselves feel good as frequently as possible? Because it is a great question. But before we go there, inhaling deeply through the nose accesses nitric oxide, not nitrous oxide, laughing gas, which generates a feeling of groundedness and centeredness, focus, and relaxation. As I'm feeling that as I've read that out that you've written there, James. Morning, friends. Oh, sorry, just on another tangent here. Tartan paint. Abel, of course, is in Perthshire in Scotland. Can you buy tartan paint in Portugal? Yes, I think it is available in Leroy Merlin, and today only, possibly. Exhale through the mouth. Other orifices are available for exhalation, are they not? But it's probably most polite to do it through the mouth. What do you know what the science is with that, Jenny? Why it's generally recommended to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth?
Yeah, it's because in the nose you have you should inhale through the nose because there's the little hairs in the nose that could take out all the dust and particles that actually shall not come into your lungs and bronchioles. That's why
Okay.
you should breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. I don't know. I don't really agree on that too much. There's situations where it's absolutely helpful to breathe out through the mouth because there's a bigger release in that, but it also keeps the nervous system in a higher alertness.
Oh, you're panting,
So,
basically.
yeah, because if you think about it, when you are in a really high stressful situation, you tend to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And of course, it leaves more oxygen out of your body, you would think. But I really like it to release things out of the body. For example, a nice big sigh.
Yeah.
Ah, that definitely happens with an open mouth, and it gives the nervous system a sign or your body a sign to relax immediately. You can go into rest and digest now. It's all good.
Rest and
And
digest.
rest and digest. What I find more important than going through, in, out, nose, whatever, because some people really have a constant blocked nose. So for them, it's really hard to breathe in through the nose or out through the nose. But anyways, what I find more important is the way we're breathing. Because if you think about, and you're all welcome to do this now for a moment, just observe your breath for 2 or 3 breaths. Usually, it's very shallow, and usually it's just here in the chest,
Mm.
which is also coming from the fact that we are in high alertness in our nervous system. Because if you think about how babies are breathing, they always breathe through the belly. Deep in the belly, belly goes up. Deep out of the belly, belly goes down.
Yeah.
And that's the way we can not just bring ourselves in more relaxation through our breath, which is a magical thing. You can really get yourself out of panic attacks just by breathing and focus on that breath because your body cannot panic and relax at the same time. Easy as that.
It's
But
true, isn't it?
yeah, it's very true. And the other thing is that you massage all your intestines through breathing through your mouth, through breathing into your belly. You allow all the energy to move much further through your whole upper body than just being really shallow here in the chest. So yeah, a
Oh,
really
that
nice
feels good.
deep breath.
Yes, just talking about it and doing it is all fantastic this morning. Back to dogs. Yes, they seem to shake off negative energy. They're much better. They're so much more natural than we are, aren't they? It's incredible, and they don't care. That's part of it. When we're doing
That's
our
the
laughter
thing.
yoga, I don't think dogs really care what you think of them.
No.
And that said, I mean, some of their behavior can be pretty terrible, but most of the time, most of the time, they are just they're being dogs, aren't they? They're going about their business. They're not being dogs maliciously. They're acting according to their nature, aren't they? Which is amazing. Carl Muntz, what is it for a human to act according to their nature? It's a fascinating question. Carl Munson and Jenni B, can you do it again? It was too quick. You'll have to watch the replay. I might need a defibrillator if we do that again at that intensity. Were you going to say something there, Jenny?
Yeah,
Human.
it's so funny what you just said with they just follow their dog's nature, and what does it actually
Mhm.
mean to follow your human nature?
Yeah.
Because it's so interesting if you think about it. We're not meant to just be frustrated. Life is not there to just work and fill in your chores and then go to bed and do it all again the next day. Life is there to be enjoyed. We all, every single individual, earthling, monkey, whatever you'd like to call yourselves, every single one of us has the birthright to be happy. Now,
Yes.
write that in capital letters with 3 exclamation marks, and then whatever this means to you, that can be so different. For some people, this laughter yoga is really nice. Some might just think, oh my God, they're crazy. So I rather go on a roller coaster, and they can really enjoy that. Or me just being out in nature, really just being there is so beautiful for me. And that might for somebody be just the last thing to do. And that's perfectly fine. And I think what is so important for us, what you just said, Carl, is actually to learn sometimes really not to give a fuck, because it does not matter. There we
No.
are. It
There
doesn't
we go.
matter what anybody else thinks. But, I think it is around 12 years old when you notice that everybody else around you is different, and you might have heard already sometimes that the way you did some things are maybe not that good, and oh, look at this person is much better, and look at this person. So all you're trying to do is being somebody else,
Yes.
and
The
you keep
three
on doing that,
those
and you
three
try.
yeah, the three horsemen of the apocalypse: blame, shame, and guilt. Or therefore
Yes.
resentment. I mean, these things come in. Blame, shame, and guilt is a game learned, isn't it? As you grow up, and it's a horrible one, and it's running the world in many ways in a terrible way. But let me just take you back for a minute, because I need to point something out. It's the 1st of April today. When you said human nature is to not work all the time and maybe enjoy our lives, that wasn't an April Fool's joke, was it? That's the
No.
actual truth. I
Yeah.
just need to
And also the birthright to happiness is also the actual truth. No
not not an
April Fool.
April Fool. No April Fool. Just to clarify that, everybody, just so you know, she's not winding you up. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I needed a password 8 characters long, so I went with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Well, hey, thank you very much, OLP, for that. Feeling happy.
Now we
Uh,
all know your password.
Yes, we do. Yes, thank you very much for that. We what is this, James? We often we also feel better, but it only lasts about 15 seconds. So repeat as often as desired. I think I've missed. Oh, here we go. Inhaling deeply through the nose. That's the thing. Okay, that we mentioned before. So yes, we only need to do that as desired, and repeat as often as desired. There, don't hyperventilate. Good advice there. It can happen, can't it? Yeah, Kathy was saying, thank you, Jenny. So true. The pharmaceutical industry is profit focused. Jenny, you need to enlighten all earthlings. She's giving it a go every month here. What one, Terry? Mrs. T suggests gin and tonic. Oh no, gin and tea with Doris for lifting the spirit. Yes, why not?
What?
Why not, Mrs. T? And what is this? I just think how we often intuitively do this when we are tense. Yawning is what connected to that as well, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
And some research shows that the nitric oxide also slows the aging of cells. Well, that'll be a good enough motivation for some people, won't it? Yes, holism, mind, body, emotion, spirit, all connected. So it doesn't matter where you start. Oh, that's a very good point, isn't it? If
Yes.
sport is your thing and you want to access greater fitness and well-being, you can do that through the body if that's your thing, can't you? And you can approach the holistic picture that way. And some people
But
want to meditate. We all have our different ways of doing this, don't we?
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The thing with what you just said with the sport, you cannot do something for your physical body, something good, without also enhancing your mindset and your mental
Yes.
health,
Yeah.
and the other way around. So, like he said, it doesn't matter where you start. The important thing is to do it.
Do it. Do it. I
Do
have a
it.
Russ teddy bear named Jeffrey. Sorry, I should read this out. Thank you, Cindy. Spot on, Jenny. Laughing releases endorphins, the feel-good hormone that can actually relieve pain. Oh.
Yes.
I have a Russ teddy bear, says the OLP, named Jeffrey. When I take him off the pillows to go to bed, I give him a big hug. And when I make the bed, I put him back on the pillows. I give him a big hug. Feels so good. Oh, morning to Jeffrey in Oregon this morning.
Yes.
Happy April. Be foolish to everyone. Love yourself and laugh often. Cheers, Bob. We've definitely
Yeah.
smashed the 17.5 laugh threshold today. Sue's enjoying yogurt and crunchy chocolate covered cornflakes. Oh, you rascal, Suze.
Ooh.
Funnier than plain yogurt. Thanks, Lidl. Praising, it's like, which gods did we worship in the 21st century? All praise be to Lidl this morning over there in Finland. Just started the Wim Hof method. Literally just taking a 2-minute cold shower and then tuned in. I'm sorry, Deborah, that is just weird. But I'm talking to a German here who would probably agree with you completely with the cold shower business. What is it with the Northern Europeans and this cold showering, Jenny?
Well, first, we live in a cold country, so when you give yourself a cold shower, the environment feels a lot warmer afterwards. But on that, Deborah, depending on what you'd like to achieve, Wim Hof might not be the best tactic to tackle in terms of breathing, but it definitely gives you the. I also like challenging myself with cold water only because of the fact that you can observe the reaction of your body so well. What it usually does is it goes into panic. And yeah, because cold water.
Yes, of course. Everyone's a cat in that situation, aren't they?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course. Yes.
But it's really nice to observe that. And then again, practice that breathing to actually calm yourself down. Because if you're standing in the shower and you rinse yourself with cold water, let's face it, you're not going to die. And Andy, if you're watching, I know for people with weak hearts, please, guys, start from the bottom and your feet, work your way slowly up to the hips, then the arms, and only then over the belly to the heart. So you're not starting with ice right here, just in case we want to avoid a heart attack. But brilliant way to get a sensation for your body and how it acts and behaves. For that, it's
I
really good.
was only kidding, Deborah. I have done it. It has been recommended to me, and I have done it. And I've gone about it in a gung ho, yangy male way, which is get in there and let it come on your head and chest, and like. I think your advice is good to start with the bottom. I think you said the bottom of the body, not the bottom. I mean, by all means. I mean, it's very Portuguese to shower your bottom, of course, isn't it? With bidet culture. But that's something different, which we're not going to do right now. Thank you, Deborah. Good morning to you. Nitric oxide is also accessible through the sinuses, and exhaling through the mouth keeps the nitric oxide more time to absorb. James, who knew that you knew so much about this? And thank you for sharing. I really enjoyed this, my first view, as I'm usually working. What a debut to join us as a gumper. I will watch as often as I can. Thank you. Well, I have to say, it's Feelgood Friday, sexta-feira, and it's not usually this upbeat. We're usually very serious from Monday to Thursday, Kathy. So you've caught us on an off day when we're actually being cheerful and happy. And I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Yes, the exhaling through the mouth is meant for this intentional practice, not always. Thank you very much for that clarification. Vitor, fantastic. From Vitor, who's about to launch his own podcast, I believe. You do let us know, Vitor, what's going to happen with that. We want to be kept informed because we enjoy your company greatly. It's always fun when he's around on a Feel Good Thursday once a month as well. Vitor! And good vibes. Look at that. Brilliant. That was an emoji, but we'll take it as good vibes on the screen like that. Brilliant. So true about breath and breathing. Thank you, Tony. Good morning to you, Tony Nunes. Great to have you here. It's the bomb, dear, from Vitor. I think that's intentional there. At its most basic level, we are all wired to survive. We humans get to also choose how we do it. Now, that's another reference to human nature, isn't it? We have that survival instinct, we have the animal instinct, and we're blessed, aren't we, with this ability to notice and observe and be self-aware, which we can use for good or for ill, I think.
Yes. And you know what? The thing is, so often we are so goddamn serious with ourselves and with life because of all the expectations that are in ourselves and around us. And I'm an expert in that, really. Putting expectations very high, being like my hardest critical ever. Nothing's ever good enough. Like, I'm really good at that. In the past, I used to be very good at that. For those who'd like to, who are into minimum maximum interventions for anything you'd like to get rid of from your mindset, just keep on telling yourself in the past, and then you follow with whatever of that. So in the past, I used to be really good to put my expectations up really high. And as the game you were just mentioning before, blame, shame, guilt, this is really where it all ties in. And we just we are herd beings, as in
Yeah.
we live sociably. We're not meant to live isolated. So we really like to be acknowledged. We really like to be seen. We really like to be loved. That is also a human trait. And in our society, where we are so harsh and really pushing away people, and really, this whole elbow thing, it makes it really hard to feel accepted and to feel seen and to feel loved. And then maintaining this from the inside to bring it to the outside is sometimes so hard. But if we would all remember that we are all in the same boat,
Yes.
that we are all having flaws, and I'm sorry again, we are all human somehow, or earthlings. That means we have flaws. Yeah, I know. That's been a big bummer now. But we can laugh about it because
We
that's the
don't know if
beauty
you're
of it.
joking. It's April Fool's Day. We don't know if you're joking or not. But herd animals. There's the irony and poetry of this. HERD. We live in a herd, and we love to be heard, but we're not. That doesn't always happen, does it? In the great big HERD herd, we're not necessarily heard, and that's why it's great to have friends and a community where you can be your true self, whatever that means, and be witnessed and heard. I think that is so true what you've pointed out there. We do need to be witnessed and acknowledged, don't we? Okay, amen
And
to not
even,
caring. Sorry, go on.
sorry, just to finish that off, and even if it's just from ourselves, because so
Oh
often we
yes,
search for that acknowledgement in the outside, but it will never come. People will not start to take you serious or respect yourself if you do not respect yourself first.
there you go. And this might be helpful. I love the saying, says James, what you think of me is none of my business. Ooh,
Yeah.
wow. This show is encouraging me to challenge you to share a good laugh, long laugh with me. The only problem is it has to be done through email. Joao F, put your email address in there if you want people to inundate you with funny emails. Or WhatsApp would be good as well, wouldn't it, Jenny? I can't remember what you said that would have related there, but that's applicable to a number of things you've said. Serious and funny this morning, as usual. Thank you very much, Michelle. Keep going. Gary Brecker says that the presence of oxygen is the absence of disease. My goodness. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Does holism have any relation to your name? He is. He's James Holy, everybody. And Jenny is holy healthy as well. It's all connected. Exercise, having feelings, meditation, remembering source, any and all approved depression, for example. Cheers. Joao F, but that would be holyism. Although I do identify with holism by practicing holistic living. We want to join your cult of holyism for sure. Joke. I asked my internet date to meet me at the gym today. They didn't show up. That's when I knew. Oh, this is brilliant. That's when I knew we weren't going to work out. Oh, yes. Carl, I always say today is the best day of my life and I want to better it tomorrow. Wow. I packed enjoyment, love into every day. I just park negative things. Nice one, Deagle. We know that about you, mate. It's fantastic. Jumping into ice water is great, James Holly. It's if one likes the feeling of being pierced by 10,000 needles. Sounds like he's done it. Sounds
Some
like
pay for that and get a tattoo. You could
yes,
just jump in the water.
that's right. I'll have a sauna first. The Germans love a sauna, don't they, with the cold
Yeah.
dip? Been doing Wim Hof for a few months now. Thanks, Jenny B. Loving this, and Carl too. Seize the day and chill, folks. We've got something to say before we go about the Rainbow Guardians and some lovely photos to share with you. The CEO of IKEA was elected Prime Minister in Sweden. He should have his cabinet together by the end of the month. Oh, my goodness. The old ones are the oldest. Really needed this today. My poor husband has been traveling 2 days to the US and still not at his mum's yet. Poor guy. Let's send him some good juju. Yes, absolutely. To Mr. Q. All the best and vibes, good vibes to you, Mr. Q. Keep us informed of what goes on and let us know if we can help, Susie. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Because he never lands. Oh, my God. Now, just as we're about to finish, all the jokes are coming out. Although another of my many adored sayings is life is not a competition. So true, verdad. Went winter camping in high school, snowshoed in, last to arrive, set up my sleeping bag in a plastic envelope at the edge of the group, woke up alone. I had slid down the slope during the night and nothing terrible happened. How good is that?
That
Fantastic.
is so funny.
It's like, nocturnal tobogganing. Told him to make lots of friends with those around him, help each other out. Indeed. That's a hubby there. That's not such a good CEO. He should only take a few hours to assemble one. Yes, if he runs IKEA, my goodness. Sometimes when my clients feel badly and or apologize for something, I sarcastically accuse them with, how human of you. I bet that's a good moment. Math teacher, if I have 5 bottles in one hand and 6 bottles in the other, what do I have? Student, a drinking problem. Well, hey, Jenni B, you couldn't be more right about all of us being in the same boat. The problem is some of us travel in first class and others in second and third class. Well, yep, there is that. Go on.
Thank you for saying that, Joao, because at the end of the day, some really might not like me saying that, but this is also, we choose that ourselves. And most of us, including me in the past, have signed up for this poverty, life in poverty here, because we still somehow carry the belief in us that we have not deserved to live an abundant, fulfilled, happy, badass life just the way we want it.
Yeah.
So even though it doesn't matter in which class you're traveling, the pain feels the same and we still have all the same hassles. It might just look differently to another, but it doesn't mean that it's easier.
Very good. And you can be in a class of your own, which you are, Joao F. You are in a class of your own, my friend there. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Oh, Bob. I knew Bob would come through. Lovely warm sun. I think you've landed in Portugal. Is it? It is beautiful. Have you touched down, Chris? I think he has, hasn't he? What's worse than raining cats and dogs? Hailing taxis. Oh, my goodness. All the good ones are here today. We've definitely laughed more than 17 and a half times. Although I think that was the half joke. Half laugh, wasn't it? Maybe, I don't know. But nothing to show for it, Jenni, being pierced by ice water needles versus tattoos. There you go. Yeah. Jenni, have you ever heard of the Holi Festival in Portugal? In Portland, Oregon. When I see those first 4 letters, I just think Portugal. There's a lot of dancing, music, and beautiful colored powders people wear all over their bodies. It's so fun. This is my joke, Pete, that I put out on the day after. But anyway, I do like a bit of recycling. How did Chris Rock know that Will Smith had been outside in the snow? Fresh Prince. Well, hey, and none of that is about money and possessions and access, Jenni, about class-mindedness from James there. Bon dia from Moas. Moas, where you been? How are you? Jenni, tu estou un poco atrasado hoje. A little bit tired today there, mate. Hope you're okay. Bon dia, lovelies from Beverly. I have a bad joke I made up. What nut should you avoid when you have a cold? A kachoo! Bless you. Oh, my word. Okay, so Rainbow Guardian update. We're a minute over 10. I think it's Feelgood Friday. We can take it easy. Let me set the scene here. Here's my lad enjoying himself.
Yeah.
He's the one on the right, my boy, but he's done a great self-portrait.
Yes, he did.
In Moss. That's a self-portrait there. Here they are getting ready to go on a trail or something like that around the grounds. They loved it. And when you see a hammock as a kid, this is what you want to do. You want to get in. All 3 of them got into the hammock and had this fantastic time in the hammock there. And there they are. Aren't they having a fabulous time there? They absolutely love being at Auntie Jenni's. And then she goes and does this. Why, Jenni? Why? And
because we're having fun.
Dad had a nice time. Look at
Carl
this.
and Carlito.
Carl and Carlito. Yes, either of us you can call Carl or Carlito. We're interchangeable. And I loved hanging out with Hippie the dog as well. But little Carlito there we had a little moment, didn't we? It was lovely, that little hug.
Yeah. First he had a nap on your lap and then you went into the tent and had a nap yourself. It was so cool.
Yeah. So, and a joke that's been sent in to me from Gilda. Dog Googles hot dogs. And ends up with that. Hate it when that happens. Thanks, Gilda, for sending that one in. His face. Right. Rainbow Guardian update. So what's going on, Jenni? We had a fantastic time. Recommend it to anyone. I mean, kids and adults alike. You don't have to have kids, do you, to pop over to see you to enjoy the splendor of the central Portugal woodland atmosphere there. I think you're open to anyone coming to see you. What's going on there?
Of course. And what's going on there? It's so much going on, and it's it's still sometimes I'm feeling a bit in this dreamland that it's really happening, and it's beautiful. Like you said, I've met a lot of people. I don't know if that was done already last time, but the borehole is drilled for the property, so we now have water. really good. So we can plant all the goodies with the kids. We have set in some trees. Carl actually planted
Oh
in
yes,
one of
forgot
the
about that.
first trees.
Yeah,
Really nice, so they can all grow now. And yes, little by little, we step by step, together with the kids or with whoever comes here, every time something more happens. And I'm grateful, to really let it grow organically with all the help from you wonderful people. And seeing that, I mean, what you just saw there, the sparkle of the kids' eyes when they just take out a little bit of moss that feels so cool and making an emoji out of it. Oh
yeah.
my God, this is just so cool.
And I've spent all that money on toys and computers and stuff, and then he just goes and finds himself some moss out of the woods. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does look like his mum. Yes, they had a fantastic time. We're being my ears were spotted as well in the woods.
Yeah, it's
Be-
strange, huh? I remember that was strange for me first time seeing Carl with ears.
Give him a little pull, didn't you? Like a little tug. Ooh, beautiful stuff. Going to have to watch the show and catch up. Moved into our unready Quinta 2 days ago, and it's manic. So much dust. Oh, Beverly, all the best with that. It'll pass. This too shall pass, right? And we're being called the Flintstones in the forest there. Gay old time. Yeah, it is fantastic. Primal. I'm not sure if it's a holy festival, but has music, dancing, and throwing of coloured powders. Oh, that was yes, the festival you mentioned there, OLP.
Yeah. Comes
So
originally from India. It comes
oh
originally
yes,
from
of
India.
course.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Okay. And is anyone looking into that borehole? He's recycled his own joke there. When did the show start? 8:30 this morning, Mars. We did start on time today. If that's a reference to yesterday's weirdness, you've been quiet as a mouse all the time. Don't be shy. Yes, where is Baldilocks this morning? Quite quiet. I wish we could bring trees and seeds as we grow trees and save seeds, but not recommended by the authorities. I think a lot of people do bring seeds into Portugal.
Authorities are there to recommend things, but
Yeah.
necessarily, it does not necessarily mean that you follow it.
So somebody once said, as we are reporting to this morning to you, OLP. So all is going well, Jenny. Presumably you're still open to people's contributions of time, energy, love, affection, and of course money and funds to make the thing work.
Of course, it's it will never be just me. It's another wonderful communal human project, and basically an experiment how it will turn out when we allow children to thrive and evolve naturally in their natural habitat, which was beautifully presented of your kids as well. It didn't took long, and they were just there and they started playing and exploring. And it's so beautiful to see that. And of course, this is nothing I do on my own. So for everyone who also likes to give something back, this is a really great chance to do that. And to when we planted the tree, we said, you're not planting a tree for yourself, you plant it for the future generation. And this is what we're doing with Rainbow Guardians as well. It's not about us, it's about the kids. And that's the beauty of it. So whoever wants to
Thinking
contribute.
not only beyond today. So there's an interesting paradox there, because it is lovely to be in the moment. You can really
Yes.
be in the moment where you are, and then
Yes.
to have that human self-awareness to say, okay, this is lovely in this moment. How about we preserve it for generations to come? So a lovely mix of those two thoughts that dogs don't think about things like that.
No.
Lucky them in many ways, but we do. We are blessed or cursed with that possibility. So why wouldn't we enjoy the moment and think about the generations to come and see how we can bring those two together? And that's exactly what you're doing there. I will put on the screen, Jenny, the fundraising QR code so that people can chip in if they would like to. And I will put that I will put that up at the end of the show. Thank you. It's been so much fun as usual. Quick look at this again.
I just picture Carly in front of Google, going like, oh,
That's right. Just, oh dear. Oh yeah. Sneak away from mum and look at the computer for a minute. Okay, Jenny, fantastic to be with you, to laugh with you this morning, and everyone else who's joined us this morning, and those of you who will see this later on catch up. Yes, this really happened this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. Ciao, ciao, Jenny. We'll see you next month.
Thank you so much, Carl. Thank you so much, everyone who was here. As usual, it's been a pleasure, and I feel every one of you. And thank you so much for being human.
Fantastic. Yes, of course. Go well, you human beings. Bon fin de semana.